Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zheng here, and I'm back with another video in the Rated Battle Special VGC 14 ladder series, where I climb the online ladder and provide live commentary as I go. Today's team is Mega Kangaskhan, Mega Charizard, Garchomp, Bulky Gardevoir with Will-O-Wisp and Taunt, Choice Band Bisharp, and Aerodactyl. Combination, once again, of Pokemon I've been using. Bisharp, Choice Band Bisharp is something I actually used at Regionals this year, so I want to bring it today and try it out. Although I think I did have Focus Sash at Regionals. And just a quick update, I'll be able to bring more content to you guys now since I took the SAT, as you probably know, last weekend. But I'm actually going to be away for the next 2 weeks. I'm going to China with a bunch of kids from my school for basically all my spring break, which is from this Thursday on. I'm going to find an opponent here. It's actually going to be a good friend of mine, Greyson, rated 61 from Illinois. His team is going to be Gardevoir, Rotom Wash, Amoonguss, Kangaskhan, Talonflame, and Hydreigon. Grayson's a really, really great player. He made it to Worlds in 2011. I think he got top 8 at Nationals that year. I think he top cut Regionals earlier this year with a team very similar to this, so I'm really excited to play him. So in team preview, the first thing I want to decide is which Mega Pokemon I want to bring. I'm leaning more towards Kangaskhan, but Charizard will give me a better matchup in one-hit KO than Amoonguss. I think Charizard's actually better here because it'll allow me to one-hit KO Amoonguss, one-hit KO Kangaskhan with Overheat, hit that Rotom Wash for good damage. Kangaskhan's kind of like the safer play, but Amoonguss is always really annoying to deal with. But I do have Gardevoir as well. I definitely want Aerodactyl here. Tailwind support's going to be really, really good. So I'm going to lead with Aerodactyl. I'm debating between Kangaskhan and Charizard. Kangaskhan gives me a better matchup against that Hydreigon, but Charizard really just shuts down the Amoonguss, which I'm really, really scared of. So I'm going to lead with Aerodactyl. I think I'm going to go with Gardevoir and have Garchomp in the back. And I'm going to go with Charizard. Let's see how this plays out. Excited to see how this battle turns out because Greyson, as I said, is a world caliber VGC player, and he's actually very, very good. As you see, his rating was relatively high. Of course, the season just reset, so most ratings are still in the mid 1500s to 1600s, and I think his was pretty high 1600. So I'm going to go with my Aerodactyl and Gardevoir leads against his Talonflame and Kangaskhan. This is a pretty good lead matchup for me here, because my Gardevoir can live a Brave Bird from that Talonflame, and I can just Will-O-Wisp the Kangaskhan. I'm thinking of protecting with Aerodactyl and Will-O-Wisping the Kangaskhan, and I think that's what I'm going to do. So protect with the Aerodactyl, and he might be able to predict that though. So I'm actually going to go for a Rock Slide just to make sure, because I don't really have much to lose. The Focus Sash isn't really too important here. I'm going to Rock Slide and Will-O-Wisp the Kangaskhan, and if he does, for whatever reason, target the Gardevoir with Fake Out, anticipating anticipating the Protect on Aerodactyl, I'll be able to KO the Talonflame right away, which is always good. So he's going to Mega Evolve here, to no surprise, obviously. Let's see who he targets with this Fake Out. Wow, Talonflame's actually just going to go for a Tailwind. This is actually really, really good for me. So I'm glad I didn't Protect there. Obviously now his team is going to be boosted by that Tailwind, as this Rock Slide. Ooh, Talonflame looks like it's Focus Sashed. Very cool. Kangaskhan going for the Power-Up Punch right away onto Aerodactyl. That's going to get it to +2, but of course the Will-O-Wisp is going to bring it down back to neutral. But really nice turn there on Grayson's part. Let's see. Yep, Will-O-Wisp is going to hit there, so that was really big. But like I said, yeah, that was really, really nice on Grayson's part. Focus Sash Talonflame, not something you would really expect at all, especially because, the idea of a Choice Band on a Pokemon like Talonflame, which, uses Brave Bird and Flare Blitz a lot, is kind of uncommon. But I think Greyson specifically uses this Talonflame to set up Tailwind, and it worked pretty well here, as you see, as he basically gets a nice Tailwind up there. Bringing Kangaskhan down to neutral is always good, and however, he does have the speed advantage, so I'm going to have to be careful of that. I'm thinking of Tailwinding myself here and switching Gardevoir into Garchomp to take the incoming Brave Bird. And that seems like it makes the most sense to me. Or I can just stay in with Gardevoir. I think I'm just going to stay in knowing that I can actually take a Brave Bird. And I'm going to Psychic the Kangaskhan. So let's see how this plays out. Talonflame's actually going to withdraw, so that's even better for me, because that's the thing I'm most scared of. Rotom Wash is going to come out here. A good switch by him. Kangaskhan going for the return most likely onto Gardevoir. Gardevoir should be EV to survive that. As you see here, it takes a heck load of a lot. It's going to heal back with its Citrus Berry. Let's see if it does indeed hang on. Yep, and it does. Takes it like a champ. Well, not really. It has 2 HP left. But I am going to set up my own Tailwind here, which is very, very, very good. Because now not only do I match his Tailwind, I'm going to have an extra turn of Tailwind too at the end. And having the Aerodactyl with Rock Slide outspeed everything is obviously very, very good. So here I'm obviously just going to go for the Rock Slide. And I don't want to get Sucker Punched by Kangaskhan, so I'm kind of tempted to actually taunt the Rotom Wash. And I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to Rock Slide here and taunt the Rotom Wash so it can't Will-O-Wisp me in the future, and so I don't get Sucker Punched into Oblivion. Of course, I do also give myself a nice chance to flinch with Rock Slide. Not really worried that much about Rotom Wash. Getting just minimal damage off onto it is good enough, because that means my Charizard will be able to Solar Beam it in the late game for the KO. And, you know, I'm kind of banking off the Charizard to clean the game up. And you see here, he did go for the Sucker Punch, so I made the right play there, as the Rock Slide does a good amount to the Rotom Wash. And I'm going to be able to taunt it. Not going to really matter that much, but just going to prevent it from Will-O-Wisping, of course. And the main reason to do that was just to avoid the KO. And I am going to get the flinch there, too, so that's really lucky on my part. I assume he would have targeted the Aerodactyl, though. But having Aerodactyl survive is always huge, because that means I'll be able to have a great matchup against the Talonflame in the back. Grayson's actually going to bring out his own Gardevoir, so that's really cool, which is going to trace my Telepathy. I am running Telepathy instead of Trace because I have Garchomp with Earthquake, so I prefer to just make sure I can hit that. And now I'm just safe to Rock Slide here, and that Gardevoir most likely I'd actually assume to be Choice Scarfed. So I'm going to Rock Slide and I think go for a Moonblast onto the Rotom Wash. I am going to go before the Gardevoir though, so probably not Choice Scarfed. Let's see how much this Rock Slide does. Oh wow, it does have Dazzling Gleam. Okay, I kind of forgot that was a thing, so that's going to be huge, as he's going to pick up a KO on both of my Pokemon. Though I'm okay with that. I probably should have switched my Gardevoir out into Charizard, but I'm still fine because I've got the speed advantage in terms of Tailwind, and then that Rotom Wash is, of course, taunted, and Tailwind just went out, so obviously both of my Pokemon are going to outspeed both of my Grayson's Pokemon this turn. And that Rotom Wash either has to switch out or get hit by a Solar Beam from my Charizard. However, I am kind of tempted to just Heat Wave and Rock Slide, because the Gardevoir is obviously the bigger threat right now, and I think I'm actually going to do that. Rotom Wash, I'm not really that concerned about, because I know I can take a Thunderbolt from that Rotom Wash onto my Charizard, so I'm actually going to go for this play, because Gardevoir is a much bigger threat. And Heat Wave and Rock Slide should still do a good amount to that Rotom Wash. And last turn show that Gardevoir not Choice Scarfed, so Heat Wave and Rock Slide should be able to take that out, though now thinking about it, it might carry the Citrus Berry. Gardevoir and Rotom are both Pokemon that like Citrus Berry. He's actually going to switch out the Gardevoir into Talonflame. Good switch there. But I'm glad now I didn't go for an Overheat, because for a second I was going to go for the Overheat, anticipating a Citrus Berry on that Gardevoir. So I'm going to Mega Evolve here, and that is going to set up the Sun, of course. Let's see what he chooses to do with that Rotom Wash. Obviously the Protect is expected, but he's not going to Protect, so I'm going to get this Rock Slide off, and it's going to KO the Talonflame and bring Rotom down to a decent amount. I'd assume the Rotom is the one that's the Citrus Berry here, but it's not. I'm going to get a full-powered Heat Wave off in the Sun, of course, boosted, and it picks up the KO. Nice. Of course, single target, so Heat Wave does normal damage instead of reduced damage, as I basically have a perfect turn there, picking up 2 KOs, making up for that last turn where I kind of lost some momentum. Greyson, of course, is going to bring out Gardevoir now, but tracing the Drought, which won't do anything. But now I'm just kind of free to Overheat and Rock Slide. The Gardevoir can't really do very much to Charizard. I mean, I guess if it was Choice Scarfed with Psychic and it got a critical hit, that might be able to bring the game around. But as we saw earlier, that Gardevoir was not Choice Scarfed. Probably Citrus Berry, actually, seeing how the Rotom Wash did not have it. So, I don't know, maybe if I missed the Overheat here and he was... Oh, wow, it does have Thunderbolt, though. So it is Choice Scarfed, okay. I guess Aerodactyl under Tailwind is faster than Choice Scarf Gardevoir, which actually thinking about it, yeah, the speed makes sense. But Thunderbolt obviously not going to do enough to that Charizard. I guess with the critical hit maybe, but it actually wouldn't have mattered because he was Choice Scarfed and Choice Locked. He would have done nothing to Garchomp. So I'm going to pick up a 2-0 win there. Good game, Greyson. It was fun. He obviously, it's always an honor to battle someone who is very skilled in VGC, and Gardevoir did some work there. And I think the first turn really kind of saved me. I almost protected with Aerodactyl, and because I didn't, I was able to come through. So that's it for today's battle, guys. Rate, comment, subscribe, of course, if you haven't. 300 likes, as always, to bring you the next battle. Of course, I am leaving for China in 2 days, and I think I'm actually going to pre-record some stuff and schedule it so that while I'm gone, I'll still be able to put out some videos. But obviously, the more likes and comments I get encourages me to produce content faster. Let me know what you guys thought of the battle, and I'll see you next time. Peace.